Bangladesh plans to reopen school colleges as new COVID deaths and cases decline. Awami League 25 political parties propose names for new EC, search committee bias says BNP. If Russia invades Ukraine, US won't rescue Americans, says Biden, revealing World War fear. Assalamu alaikum, this is Chaudhry Sama welcoming you all to Evening News. You have just the headlines, now let's move on to the details. Bangladesh has registered 41 fatalities from COVID in a day, taking the death toll to 28,771. The country also recorded 500 more new cases for the disease in the last 24 hours to 8 am today. As many as 34,000 samples were tested across the country for a positivity rate of 15.46%. The latest figures put the recovery rate at 87.17% and the mortality rate at 1.51%. Government has taken an initiative to provide COVID vaccine to shop owners and employees in the capital from tomorrow to expand the scope of immunization. According to the Health Directorate, all the shop owners and employees will be vaccinated against COVID under the program. It divided the different markets of the capital into 10 zones. On the first day of the program, shop owners and employees of Uttara zone will be given the first doses of Sinovac vaccine. The local MP will inaugurate the vaccination program at 10 am at the Friends Club ground in Sector 3, Uttara. On 7 February, Health Minister Jahid Malik said the government is facing difficulties in finding people to vaccinate against COVID. As the Omicron-fueled surge in COVID cases is slowly subsiding, Bangladesh government is planning to reopen all schools once again. In Sylhet today, Education Minister Dipu Moni said all educational institutions will be opened very soon. Initially, the plan was to keep schools closed until 6 February, but as the situation had not improved as much by then, the curbs on in-person learning and public gatherings were extended to 21st February. Education Minister Dr. Dipu Moni and Deputy Minister Mohibul Hassan Chaudhry Naufel are having a meeting with representatives of student protesters of Shadal University of Science and Technology. The meeting with the 11-member delegation started in the afternoon at Sylhet Circuit House. Speaking to reporters before the beginning of the meeting, Shahriar Abedin, spokesperson of the protesters, said that the resignation of the Vice-Chancellor and resumption of class and examinations are among the topics to be discussed with the Education Minister. The Awami League has proposed 10 names for the posts of Chief Election Commissioner and 4 other election commissioners for the formation of the next Election Commission. On top of Awami League, 25 other political parties, including the main opposition in Parliament, Jatiyo Party and Jatiyo Samajtantrik Dol JSD, provided their choice list to the Cabinet Division. The Cabinet announced a 6-member search committee on Saturday. The committee is supposed to propose a list of 10 nominees to the President within 15 working days, with 2 candidates for each of the 5 positions, including that of the Chief Election Commissioner.
এই সার্চ কমিটির প্রশ্নবিদ্ধ হওয়ার কোনো কারণ নেই। এত স্বচ্ছভাবে এত ওপেনলি পৃথিবীর কোথাও এই রকম নির্বাচন কমিশনার নিয়োগ হয় না। বিএনপি, আমি মনে করি বিএনপির গণতন্ত্রের পথে হাঁটা উচিত। তারা গণতন্ত্রের পথে ফিরে আসবে, তাদের শুভবুদ্ধির উদয় হবে এবং আমরা চাই বিএনপি সহ সকল রাজনৈতিক দল নির্বাচনে অংশগ্রহণ করুক।
BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has said impartiality cannot be expected from the search committee members to form new election commission, as most of them are linked to the ruling party. He came up with the remarks while talking to journalists at his Thakurgaon residence today. He said former election commissioners formed through the search committee failed to hold free and fair elections. For their failure, the commissioners must be brought under trial, he added.
ইসি গঠনে সার্চ কমিটি বা নাম দেওয়া এগুলোর কোনো মূল্য নেই, অর্থহীন। তারা তাদের মতো করে সব নামগুলো দিয়ে দেয়, এসে যায়। সার্চ কমিটিতে কাদের নাম দিয়েছে, যিনি তাকে প্রদান করা হয়েছে, তিনি নিজে আওয়ামী লীগের নমিনেশন চেয়েছিলেন। নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থাটার উপরে মানুষের আস্থা চলে গেছে, রাজনৈতিক দলগুলোর আস্থা চলে গেছে। সুতরাং এখানে সার্চ কমিটি বা নির্বাচন কমিশন দ্যাট ইজ ইম্যাটেরিয়াল। যেটা ম্যাটার করে সেটা হচ্ছে নির্বাচনকালীন সময়ে কোন ধরনের সরকার থাকে।
Planning Minister M.A. Mannan has said the achievement in the power sector blanketed its criticism. Power in the last few years has been in the limelight and most discussed topic, he said while speaking as chief guest at the inauguration of a two-day conference of Bangladesh Poribesh Andolon and Bangladesh Environment Network today. Referring to Rampal Power Plant, BAPA President Sultana Kamal said they submitted 13 international standard theses about environmental complications of the plant, but none of them was heard or considered. Now, international news. In an interview with Lester Holt of NBC News, US President Joe Biden said if Russia invades Ukraine, there is no scenario where he would send in US troops to rescue American citizens if they are trapped there.
That's a world war. When Americans and Russians start shooting at one another, we're in a very different world than we've ever been in. It wasn't just 2,000, 4,000. We would have to significantly increase the number of troops, and we'd be back in this war of attrition. And there was no way we were ever going to unite Ukraine. I mean, excuse me, Iraq, Afghanistan. No way that was going to happen.
Discussing the recent situation in Myanmar, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today said the developments are deeply troubling. The topic was discussed at the Quad meeting with the chief diplomats of Australia, India and Japan in Melbourne.
It is painfully obvious that the developments there and deeply troubling to all of us. We've seen the junta double down on repression. On violence. We just had the one-year anniversary of the coup and the junta taking over. I met with some democracy activists just a week ago by video in Washington and heard again firsthand what's happening inside of Myanmar. We very much support the ASEAN 5-point consensus. We need to see it implemented.
Now, sports football. Diogo Jota scored twice as Liverpool cut their deficit to Premier League leaders Manchester City to 9 points with a dominant performance against Leicester at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp's side had a host of chances and reliable Portuguese forward Jota netted in each half, pouncing on Kasper's from Virgil's header from the first before stroking a second late on. The Reds still have a game in hand on champion City, and another commanding display suggests the title race may not yet to be a foregone conclusion.
If you need a goal, there's no...
Before ending, let's have a look on the headlines once again. Bangladesh plans to reopen schools, colleges as new COVID deaths and cases decline. Awami League 25 political parties propose names for new EC search committee buyers, says BNP. If Russia invades Ukraine, US won't rescue Americans, says Biden, revealing World War fear. And that's all from the newsroom for now. To know updates, videos of this bulletin, visit our website www.ntvbd.com. Besides, visit our YouTube and verified Facebook page for updates over NTV's all popular programs and bulletins. Our next bulletin, Dhaka Covid, will be aired in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Thank you for being with us. Have a good time.